We have another young man here tonight. He's going to share his story. His name is Frankie, but I like to call him Frankfurters. He doesn't mind. But Frankie I met, I had always heard of this boy Frankie, but I had never met him. And it was actually the night we brought Samantha home from the hospital, from Harborview. He showed up at our house and stayed and had dinner. And a few months passed, and my son Vannon was living with us at the time, and he said, "Hey Mom, can Frankie come over?" And I said, "Sure." A little while later he said, "Hey Mom, can Frankie stay for dinner?" And I said, "Sure." And he said, "Hey Mom, can Frankie spend the night?" And Frankie spent like the next 3 months with us. He came and he never left. He has been a joy and a delight. And one thing I admire about Frankie is he does not quit. And he may fall down, but Frankie gets up, he wipes off his hands and his knees, and he's like, "Let's do this again." And I am so proud of him. So, Frankie, come on up and share your story.
Okay. I just came from a baby shower just explaining the shirt. I'm gonna be your dad, so my testimony is actually. Thank you. So this kind of actually worked out pretty well, having a baby shower and this all in one day. Kind of put God's plan in perspective for me. And a couple things I wanted to do tonight was thank you for everything Christine and Van have done for me. They're like a second family to me. My family's over here, and this is also my family, and obviously Johnny's my brother, and I'll bring him in the story later, but I got a nickname, and they called me Runner because I was always running from my problems, and I've come to notice that it doesn't matter how far you run, where you go, if you don't deal with your problems now, they will manifest through other people, through other things, and this one reason Johnny came a big part of my life was because I don't know if some of you know, but God speaks through people to you, and they don't know what they're saying to you, but it has a different meaning for you. A lot of stuff that came out of Johnny's mouth was kind of like that, and so it kind of freaked me out at first, but I can't really explain it. But so before I had become into the Mighty Save program, like I said, I was Van's friend, Christina's son, and I was struggling with meth. Was my addiction, and I was always telling people it was cocaine because I thought it was a different, it wasn't as bad, but it was just as bad, and I was living a false identity of who I believed myself to be, and this wasn't who I am, which is the cause for me running, hence my name, Runner. So the day I showed up at Christina and Van's house, I had ridden a little BMX bike like this big from town all the way up to Northgate. It's retarded on the highway, but that was like my struggle and how bad I wanted to get away from that life. And I didn't know, that was God calling me, you need to get, and I stopped on that road like 5 or 6 times and turned around and, I'll just wait for the bus or, but I was determined to get out of that life and press on, and then the accident happened, and it showed me, that there's nothing down that road. And cutting out another story, Van here saved me in the middle of Walmart parking lot. I don't know how he knew I was going to be there, but he did. He was just waiting there with open arms. And I'd gone to prison for some things I did in California and did some time for that. But the whole time in there, I wanted to get high. So every time I would get out, it was just one mindset way that obviously would get you back in the cage and locked up. But the thing that Van made me see was that you never come to that point of when enough is enough if you love each other. Like God loves us, so he's never going to give up on you. And Van was there again. Damn, I used to come up with the stupidest freaking lies to Van and Christina, hopping out the door, putting on one boot, telling them I'd go walk the dog, but I'd be getting in a van, and I'd leave for the weekend, but I would come back, and we'd reevaluate where I went wrong and how we could start over again. And that's how Mighty to Save became a huge role in me changing my life, because not only did they offer unconditional, you know, love, but they were willing to sit down with you. There was somebody you could talk to and, you know, not be afraid of your outcome or the consequences, because everybody screws up, everybody makes mistakes, and the only way you learn from them is by making mistakes. And then, so I was like, yeah, I'll be a great first candidate for you guys. I'll put you guys through the ringer. You know, so you guys can base your program off of that. And I did a lot of stupid stuff, and I was just like, man, I cannot believe these guys are not kicking me out. It's like a job you can't get fired from. You know? And so, after, you know, a while, they introduced me to Neil Harmsworth. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's been a big role in helping me solve these false identities through prayer ministries. And I remember it, I would tell Christine and Van every day, every time it would become prayer ministry time, the enemy would be attacking me, saying, like, I don't need this crap, you know, I'm strong, I don't need to break down. And I didn't want to do it because I cried every time I did it, you know? It's like you're healing from the inside out, and it takes a lot of energy and patience and strength to even do that. And I need to go back there, but I don't want to. I don't really know like what else to say, but I just wanted to thank everybody for listening to me, and you know, this is kind of like what the Mighty Save is all about. You don't have to be afraid anymore. So, thank you.